Hello, welcome. We are going to have a lengthy tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be making this pattern to fit Francie. So I'm going to move her aside and show you, if you haven't seen the video, this is Barbie's pattern right here that I created. And I wanted this to be for Francie, but it came out being too big. So this is what we do. It could be this one, or it could be one from a pattern. Let me just show you as an example. I'm going to pull a pattern here. Okay, as an example, let's say this one. Let's say you want to create that dress right there. Well, you get the pattern, and what you want to do is, since this is tissue paper, put it in a harder stock. This is Xerox paper. And put it right next to Francie. Get yourself a notepad or a steno notebook. Right here I'm going to use my notepad where I write my thank you letters to my clients, and a pencil. And if you hear that little noise, I have the fan on. Let's see how warm my room is right now. It is, let's say it's 87 degrees, but I have the fan on me and it's keeping me nice and cool. And I'm really excited to do this. So, first thing we want to do is take Barbie's pattern and put it right next to your Francie doll. And I'm going to put this up so I don't keep on hitting the camera. So this is the middle right here. And don't use the tissue paper from the actual pattern. So this is the middle ground over here. So it's easier to go from the bottom and do a guess where the middle is. So the middle is going to be right here. And we're going to need this much more for the sewing. This is the sewing foot. So once we have that, we are going to, these are I save everything. I recycle, so these are my leftover pieces. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put it right here because I can use that for something else. So we're going to take the piece of paper, and this is the waist, or actually from the halfway point where I need to do the pattern for Francie. Now we're going to take the same pattern, and we need to figure out, we're going to put this around her hip. So her hip is right here. Her hip is right there. So we're going to go from there. So since I already did that, I'm going to fold it so that I don't complicate things. And we did get complicated here. And go ahead and mark that. And then you outline. You can use this outline right here. And take the width of Barbie, and we're just going to do a mental note right here. And this is the area right here. Now I'm going to cut this, and we're going to do the dart, and I will show you how to, a little hack. These are my scissors. I'm going to show you how to design a dart. So we have more than enough room over here. So And I will do like the sewing example. All right, of how to do this. So here we have our little prepped up pattern. I'm going to move her hand back. And here is her bust. Go ahead and fold it just like I did right there. Just put the paper in the middle and just fold it, and this is going to be making your dart. And you see how we have that there? This is exactly where we want to be, right there. So now we're going to cut it. And when you open this up, you get to see your dart. This is where you're going to be sewing. So go ahead and make your outline. This is the dart for Francie. So now that we have the dart set, we need to do it this way, because if we open it like this, it'll be longer. We need to have Francie's or Barbie's front in order to do the back. If you don't do this, then one side is going to be longer than the other. So we're going to put this down right here, and this is the back. All I want is to have the length here, and we can open it like so for now. And this is going to be the fold part. And you can go like this, or you can do it a little bit higher, as long as you meet right there, right here on the top. And we're going to do this part right here. So now we're going to fold this back, and we are going to be using this part right here and this part right there. Did you see what I did? I went ahead and did that. So now that we outlined it, it's the exact same size as this, but we want this to be the size for the blouse with the dart. So holding it down, you move your pattern like so. So let me show you again. If we leave it like this, the back is going to be too long. So what you do is outline it, do the dart, we did the line, and we want this, the front, to match the back. So we move it in this direction, and there we go. That is our correct size for the back. So you can, when you're watching this and doing it for yourself, of course, feel free to be rewinding that so that you get the correct size. If you don't, it's no big deal. You can always adjust your pattern. You're just going to be cutting extra fabric. So this is the back, and let me show you. When we sew, we're going to sew around right here. We're going to sew around right here, and this part right here looks big, but by the time we sew and we fold, it's going to be like that right here, about 1/4 of an inch instead of 1/2 an inch. So here is our back, and we're going to put Francie yellow back, and we're going to do Francie yellow front. And now we are going to cut the fabric. And this is all the fabric that I have right here. So I'm going to leave this part right here, which is not a lot. This is it. This is barely 12 inches across. And where is my ruler? This is probably 12 inches across. And it's 11 and a half. So that's all I have. 11 and a half. I'm going to leave this for the skirt. And I'm going to be cutting away from here. So first I'm going to cut the front. So let's get that done first. And that's too much. So the video is going to be a little bit lengthy, and that's because we just designed the pattern for Francie, and cutting the fabric does take time. So there we go. And then after we do this, because we're creating the pattern, after we do this, then we will work on the skirt. Don't feel that you need to have the patterns done. We're doing this as we go, and this is how I do it. So here we go. And I'm going to cut this right here. And I'm going to use tulle to do the folding around the neck and the back. So that is our front. And let's see here. So what I'm going to do, I don't think that, oh yes, I have enough. So I'm going to fold this over and try to use this here. And you can practice using scrap pieces of fabric while you are creating your pattern. I mean, I used to use my own pattern and I would ruin it, so it's would be sad. So there, just trying to get the right size here. So the top always takes, well, in this case, it will take more time. And that's because we're going to be doing the darts. We're going to be doing the armholes and the neck. So here we go. And I am using a vintage sewing machine. This machine does not have anything, no zigzags, no fancy stuff. So but it would be too time consuming. So we are going to use tulle, and I have some pre-cut. I might need to cut a little bit more. So right now I'm going to decide, or I'm going to look, not decide, I'm going to look which one is the front and which one is the back. I mean, it's really hard to tell. I mean, this is cotton. So it's really hard to tell. So I'm going to place my pieces here, and I'm going to be sewing the top and do a semi tight stitch here. And Now for the darts. So I'm going to get Francie. And basically I'm going to do the same thing that I did when I had the paper. So here is my middle. And I'm just going to fold right there, keeping my hand in place. I'm going to start right there. And then you'll see what I do so that I can have a matching opposite side. So what I do is I fold it in half, as you see here. And then I fold it. So I am looking to have the exact same fold as I do from the side. And this is before I sew it. So here we are in the middle. The sewn part is right here. And I'm just going to do the exact same fold as that one right there. I could use the pattern, but this is much easier for me. And here we are at the middle. So knowing where to start, I'm going to put my finger there and start it. And yes, you can always use your pattern and just go from there. And I'm going to take a look before I continue. And let's try it on Francie. So I'm going to move this, hold it into place. And there we go. Let me see. So now for doing the tulle. I'm going to line this with the tulle, and then I am going to fold this over. And I am keeping the edge of the neck here to make sure that it is exactly the same way on the other side, so that it's not crooked. So I'm using that right there. Okay, so I have that there, and see how easy this is going to be. I'm going to use the tulle to fold it over, and what this is going to do, it's going to help and minimize the fraying of the cotton over time. It's going to be held down by the tulle. And let me just give myself a dart there. I gave myself a dart right in the middle. And when we get to the skirt, we're going to do the exact same thing on the skirt. So here is the top, and I'm going to cut a little bit more tulle, because that was basically the last of it. So this is my tool. It's on a spool, and I just need that much, about a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to be doing the same thing on this side for the armpits. After I do this, I will cut the excess and continue with the other part of the tool and use that for the other armhole. After I do Francie's dress, I'm going to be so excited to do Skipper's dress. That way Skipper gets to have her own little matching mod yellow dress. Okay, so this is my excess here. Cut that. And do you see that tool right there? Let me see if we can go a little bit closer. I'm going to cut that out. And when you're doing this, just be very careful not to cut the fabric. So I'm going to line it with the bottom and then match a ending point here of where to sew, or a connection point, not necessarily an ending point because there's an end in the beginning. So right here I will start the sewing for the armhole. And there is one side right there. And let's get these. Okay, now for the other side. And here is my tool. And notice how I am staying around this side here. I didn't do this on the other side, but I'm just going to do it here. It's actually not that necessary, the way that this armpit is designed. And I'm feeling my way through there to make sure that I am sewing the tool in there. Okay, so I'm going to cut this excess here and cut this before I sew it together. And main part is getting the end together and then going to the top. And I'm not going to use a serger here because I am doing this live in order to save that awkwardness of coming and going. So here is the back. And I'm going to leave this raw for now. When I connect the skirt, I will go ahead and align that up with the skirt. So here is our moment of truth. We're going to try this on Francie. And here is the top. This is, let's just do it here for our fold so that basically you see where we're at. And now let's try this paper pattern on her. Let's see if it's enough. I'm going to do it this way. This is the initial pattern that I did for Barbie. So I have it at a fold. I'll show you right there. And let's see if this is going to be enough for her. Keeping the fold in. And actually that's going to be enough. Now it's enough for her. The next thing to do is see if it's enough for this, because it needs to match. It needs to match what we have here on the top. So let's do this here, and I still need a little bit more. And let's test this out. This is the middle right there. So could we afford to make this a little bit tighter? Let's see. I'm going to do it inside out so that you can see. And there's a lot of back and forth going on when we are doing the pattern for the first time. So I'm going to put it right there. And let's see. We can go ahead and take that much more right here. You see that? I can still take a little bit more, and that's going to help us to have a better fitting dress and for it to match this. So let's go back. And so I'm going to go as far as right here. Basically that much. And since we know it's okay, I'm going to cut this out. And now I'm going to do this other part here. That much. So now we're going to see how this looks. And for Francie, we're going to do the same right here. Oh, I'm going to do it with my scissors. So do it now. And adjust this a little bit more so that we have more of this in the back. And we want to make sure that it matches the back too. We're going to take that much more. So we're going to do the same for the back. Adjust it. And just take a little bit more. Let me put my patterns back over here. We can do that right there. So now that we have this done, let's try the skirt again, the paper skirt. So there's a lot of back and forth when you're doing your pattern. So let's look at it now. So that looks good there, and that is right in the middle. If you notice that, that's right smack in the middle. and just a little bit more. So let's do a little bit more on this side. Not a big deal, not a big problem. It's probably folded a little bit too much on that side. So now I'm going to cut my fabric here. All these little bits and pieces. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut it from here. And remember, we needed to have a little bit more. Oh, the other thing is I want to make sure that it is shorter for her. So let's do that before we cut the fabric. Francie is a mod doll, so Francie always had those mod outfits. And let's see, where do we want it to end? So when we sew this, it's going to be like right here. So on Barbie, I went ahead and put her hand there. I drew her hand because I wanted to see how much more after her hand the end of the skirt was. So at the tip of Barbie's sketched hand, we are barely about 1 1/4. So if we're going to do this on Francie right here, because she is smaller, the hip is right there, and I'm going to outline her hand. So a very nice indicator would be just below her hand. So a very good skirt for Francie would be right there. So we need to cut around here. So I'm going to put here, this is for Francie, hem. So now we designed the hem for Francie. For you, let me give you the size. So if you cut 2 inches by 7 inches for the skirt, you're going to be okay. And when you designed the blouse, you want to be right there. You see this right here? Her hip is right here. So this is the indicator right there. So just a little bit under that. So let's fold this, and this is going to be, I want to make sure that it is even. It didn't feel that it was even there. So there. This is what we need, and I'm just going to give it just a little bit more. It's good to have a little bit more and not enough. So I'm going to give myself that much, and that looks straight enough for me. And we're going to cut this, and I'm going to work the hem. I'm going to put some tulle and get going with this. So we're doing really good. We are in 35 minutes. We're going to do the skirt, and not only are we cutting the fabric to the pattern, we actually made a pattern. So Here is my trusty piece of tool, and I'm going to put this on the edge because this is going to help for the fraying. What I mean from fraying is this right here. You see the edge? How it's fraying right there? I don't want it to happen on the hem. Okay, so I sewed that, and now I'm going to do the hem. Okay, I don't need this, so we're just going to cut this out. And I'm just going to sew this a very, very tiny amount because we're going to sew it when we connect the skirt, and that's going to help us to minimize the frame. Okay, now the other side. So it is Friday. This is how I am spending my Friday with you, making a pattern and making a dress. So here is our skirt. So we're going to fold this in the middle, and I am going to clip it, and I'm going to use the pattern as an indicator. Since this is a little bit thicker than Xerox paper and I already have it folded, it's going to be very easy to manipulate the fabric and fold it in there. And keeping my finger in there, I am going to pin this, and I'm going to make sure that we are at the middle or where we need to be before I sew this. So here is my little middle right there, my little middle dart. So I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to fold this, and keeping my finger in there, just pull it out. And another way to make sure that we are in a good unison, we're going to fold it in the middle and look at the fold and look at the end, and there we are. So I'm going to sew this, prep it, and I don't know, let's see here, it should be enough. That was the plan. Let's try this out. Yep, it looks like it will. So we have a little bit of jitters, sewing jitters, and let me take that, and now we're going to put it on the top. That way it's not going to be moving on us. Oh, I know what I did. We didn't do this part right here. So that's why we were a little bit off. So let's see here. That's why it looked a little bit bigger. So here is my middle point. Let's see here. So yeah, there we are. You see the difference? It's the difference on the fold. So we're going to fold this right now so that we can be right where we need to be. Very tight sewing there. So I'm going to pin the ends and then pin the middle, make sure that we are right where we need to be, and then do the sewing for the dress. And I'm going to look for my iron. Let's see, here it is. I'm going to turn this on so that when we're done, hopefully by the time we're done sewing the dress, we're going to have it hot. And since this is cotton, we're going to do a really hot there. So I'm going to be very careful. And we are looking good here. Right in there. So I'm going to hold it down. And start sewing. After the live stream, I will go ahead and do the serger. Oops. I hate dropping these pins because they're almost counted because I don't want to be missing any. Let's do a little, okay, let's put this in the middle here. Let's do a little pre-setup here for Francie. And see how this dress looks on her. It looks super cute. I'm going to put it up on the screen. And we're going to iron it. Look how it's turning out. And here are her little mad boots right there, and we're going to iron this down. When we put the buttons in there, let me see if it's hot. Oh no, it's not on. Why isn't this on? Oh, I'm probably using the extension of the glue gun. So I guess we're going to wait a little bit longer. I wanted to get a head start here, but the glue gun also has a white extension. There goes my plan. But I certainly didn't want to have it on all this time, so we're going to give it about a minute. In the meantime, I am going to be clipping away all these little excess pieces. Let me see if we can get some lighting in here. We have a lot of lighting coming in from the outside towards my window. And I am clipping away right now. And what I have over here is vinyl on top of the wood. So I'm going to be ironing right here. It's getting hot. It's getting there. And another thing that I want to do is I lost a black, oh goodness. I lost I'm going to put it right there, a black button. I am going to look for one more. Well, I know where it's at. Take it from here. And then I'm going to look for that black little button. So here we go, one little black button. And I will sew them on live so that you can get the full dress effect. And after the live stream, I will do the hook, which is right there. And where's the other one? Oh, here's the other one. These hooks get attached, they get attached to each other. So now it should be hot. So we're going to iron this down. And we have just made ourselves a dress for Francie. And make this nice and crisp. I'm going to try this on Skipper too and see how it looks. It might just fit her, but it has darts, so I won't be looking to put this on her because Skipper is a little girl. But I will take the width of the top. I might make her armholes a little bit smaller because she has smaller armholes than Francie, I think. Okay, we're just gonna iron this so that we can have a very nice crisp front pleat. And Barbie, I sewed over here on the top for Barbie, so we're going to do the same here. Let's see here. Oh, just have that pressed down for a good moment. And going to sew this down here. I'm sewing slow because I am sewing really close to the edge here. Right there. Really, really close. And now the finishing touch, which are the buttons. And I did turn the iron off. So we're going to be sewing buttons here. This is just one of the things that we do. And the buttons are in the inside. So So I want to thank you for being here on this tutorial. Even if you're not here live, you are here with me watching this tutorial. And this right here is helping me to show people like yourself how to make a pattern. And once you learn how to make a pattern, you can create and start doing others. And if you don't want to continue, at least you can watch, which is helping me here on my YouTube channel, and that I really appreciate it, and I thank you. And let's do this. I am going to continue this on. I'm doing a knot away from the camera. You know, it's so amazing what little embellishment, like here the embellishment is going to be the buttons, and what a big difference it just makes on this outfit. You can go back after we're out of live stream, you can go back and look at the dress without the buttons, and then you can look at the dress with the buttons. So I am done with one part, or one side, where I'm going to show you what I have, and then I'm going to start on the other side. Here's one side here, and I'm going to start with the other, and it has to be around the same side, around the same. So we are looking good. This is where I put where the needle came out. This is going to be the bottom part of the button, and then I'm going to adjust it by sewing it here on the top. So actually that looks good. Let's see here. Yeah, that looks even. Yeah, that looks good. I can't do the knots while I have this on the camera, so I have to do it like laying down. And I have the needle there, trying to make sure that we are even on both sides. I'm just very careful with the buttons because I don't want to lose it. Sometimes it's just like the flick of the finger, we just toss it almost as if I did send it out to the trail. Here. Okay, I'm going to sew it, loosen it up a little bit more, and yeah, there we go. Move it to the side. I have this on I have it on my lap because I need to put some pressure on it to move it. And again, it's something that I can't do while I'm on the camera. I need to put some pressure on it. And there we go. So now we're going to put this on Francie. This black and yellow reminds me of that other one for Francie, that little tweed yellow suit with black stripes. The name is just like escaping me. So we're going to bring Barbie here. Let me straighten her legs out. Okay, and I'm going to bring Francie. that hot element. And here is Francie right here. I'm dressing her up. And I'm going to hold her dress with some pins for now. And then I will put the snaps on her. But this is one of the awkward things about doing the live stream, is just these blank moments. Okay, and we are going to put the two girls side by side. And there we have it. Fresh from live stream, Francie's dress. And we have a lot of sunlight, like I mentioned. Let me see if I can put a little over. Let me see here. Put that there to help us. And this is a TNT Barbie here, so that is nice. There we go. Well, with this, I'm going to say I'm going to be taking a little bit off the lighting here to give us a little bit more backdrop. And there we have it. Our mod dress for Francie, just created on live stream. Just a little fuzz and a whole bunch of a thread over here that I have. And I'm going to go ahead and iron it some more. Do a short video of what we have just created. Thank you for being with me here on this live stream. Let me know in the comments any suggestions, any thoughts, anything that you would like to see, and we will see you in the next video. I will be doing Francie no bangs over the weekend. I have a lot of fabric that has been pleated, and I have an orange one that I will be doing. Here is the orange sneak peek of the orange pleats, as you see right there. Just perfect. And where it's going to end, basically just where the other one is as well. So how about that? About planning and having the skirts end up in the same length. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I will be looking for the vinyl so that I can get that little vinyl top cut and ready. Thank you very much. And please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, a comment, and a share. Share is helping my channel grow. And that is what I'm working with this channel every moment of the day. We will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.